WrestleMania 41, Night 2 predictions. Already got part 1 up on the page, so check it out. But without further ado, let's get into Night 2. First up, we got the women's tag team title match between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the champions, versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, the challengers. Now, this match doesn't really have a whole lot of hype behind it, but one of the underlying stories of this whole thing is, can Bayley and Lyra Valkyria coexist long enough for them to strip the titles away from Liv and Raquel? Now, it's no secret that Raquel is pretty much the anchor of the Liv and Raquel tag team, and she has yet to have her WrestleMania moment. And Bayley and Lyra, while they're both great wrestlers in their own rights, are they going to be able to coexist long enough for them to pick up the win? And they're going to have some pretty damn good spots and some innovative offenses, creative ways to put the pain on Raquel and Liv. But is that going to be enough to get them to win? I think there's going to be some shenanigans or some kind of miscommunication between the two, and that's going to end up costing the title with Liv picking up the win. So, yes, give me Liv and Raquel to retain. And this will reignite the feud between Bayley and Lyra. Moving on. Next up, we got AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Now, AJ says that his career is winding down. He's probably going to be in the business for 2 or 3 more years. So, with that being said, it would make sense for him to pick up the win in this one. But Logan Paul, he's been catching a few L's lately, and it would make sense for him to get this W as well. And we're all pretty much thinking the same thing. This probably is going to be the show stealer match of the night. We're going to see some drop kicking, high flying, technical, holy moment type of spots in this wrestling match. Now, the only other question is will there be some outside interference on the part of Logan Paul? And Karrion Kross just came back, what was it, last week, 2 weeks ago? So, and I think the only difference here is while we might get an interference from Karrion Kross, AJ's going to get one up on Karrion this time, which will carry on their feud after WrestleMania. But Logan Paul's going to ultimately take advantage and get the pin over AJ. Next up, we got the Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship match. Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Now, these pro wrestling streets is all saying the same thing. That regardless of the winner of this match, this is the one where nobody will be upset at the result. All 4 of these guys could win, and it'll make total sense. If you want to continue Braun Breaker's destructive championship reign, keep the strap on him. If you want to establish Penta as a major player in the WWE, put the belt on him. Finn Balor arguably needs a W more than anybody in this match because he hasn't had a definitive win or a title in so long. And Dom, he's the guy you love to hate. And what better way to cap off his career or to add his accolades than for him to have the Intercontinental title around his waist? But the underlying story here is the collapse of the Judgment Day. And I think that's ultimately is what's going to determine the result of this match. Now, we are going to get our holy moments from both Penta and Braun Breaker. And it's going to come down to who screws who over first. Is Dom going to end up seeing a spot and taking advantage? Or is Finn Balor going to end up getting the pin over Dominic Mysterio? I think that Dom goes for the coup de grace on either Penta or Braun Breaker. Well, maybe not Braun Breaker, because regardless of, him losing the title, you can still make him look strong by him not eating the pin. But yes, he goes for the coup de grace on Penta, and then Dom ultimately screws him over. 1, 2, 3. But yeah, that's my result for that match. Dom, he's getting the W in this one. Next up, you got Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight. And I'm really excited about this one because I'm interested to see how innovative and how creative they can get with these special stipulation matches, especially when it's no hold barred, when it's hardcore, how many different ways that these dudes can put the hurt and inflict pain on each other. Now, despite Drew McIntyre coming up short on major wins in the last, maybe 4 to 5 months, he is still a major player and a very, very big threat in the main event scene. Damian Priest, he is one more win away from being back in that world championship picture. Now, the only question I have here is who would hurt more from this loss? This might be a hot take, but I think that if Drew were to lose this match, I think it would all but bury him. And that's why I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre for this match. Give me Drew McIntyre picking up the W over Damian Priest in the Sin City street fight. Next up, you've got Randy Orton versus a mystery opponent. Now, I made a separate video saying who I think he should face. A lot of people are saying that he should either face Nick Aldis or Solo Sikoa or even a returning Malachi Black. Me personally, I think it should either be Ilya Dragunov if he's healthy, which I don't think he is, or it should be a returning Rusev. But smart money's saying either Solo or Nick Aldis. But I mean, uh, it's hard to predict a match where you don't even know who's going to be wrestling. And I actually like to keep it that way. I like to keep it spoiler free. But I think regardless of who it's going to be, I think Randy Orton's going to get a WrestleMania moment and pick up the W. Next up, you got the WWE Women's Championship Triple Threat match between the champion Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Bloody Ripley. You can keep the belt on Io, and that will pretty much establish her saying, see, I can hang with the heavy hitters. I can still be in the conversation with the Bianca Belairs and the Rhea Ripleys. I belong here. You can put the belt on Bianca, and you can go multiple ways with that. Is you can have her slowly descend into a heel turn, or you could just have her reign until probably next WrestleMania, or at least until Survivor Series, where she would eventually end up getting cashed in on by whoever wins the Money in the Bank this year. Now, Rhea doesn't necessarily need the belt to get over. I mean, she's already over. She's arguably more over than Bianca and Io. But as far as the result of winning this match, my head says Io, my heart says Bianca. And the reason why my head says Io is because Rhea and Bianca, they are long overdue for their one-on-one dream match, and they're going to be too focused on each other, which would make Io take advantage. My heart says Bianca is because they're trying to build up that undefeated winning streak that Bianca has. I'm going to go with my heart. Going ahead and give me Bianca Belair in this match. And finally, the main event of WrestleMania 41. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus the GOAT, John Cena. Now, a lot of people are saying the same thing. It wouldn't make sense to have a complete John Cena heel turn and for him to not win this match because, especially with this being his last year too, because it's like, if you're going to do that, what's the point? Now, this is my only question is, does John Cena win this match clean or does he win due to some outside interference? Now, some people are saying that he should just outright squash Cody. It should be a complete ass whooping from start to finish, a la Brock Lesnar, John Cena back from 2012, 2013. I think it should at least be some kind of back and forth competitive, but John Cena should pick up the W. And I think that if we see any kind of interference, I think it's going to be from the final boss, The Rock himself. And there's also that theory floating around about Randy Orton interfering in this match, which would either have Randy Orton do a complete heel turn to go up against Cody Rhodes, or have him face off against John Cena and close the chapter on their feud since it's John Cena's last year. But yes, going ahead and give me John Cena picking up his 17th championship. But anyway, guys, that's my WrestleMania 41 Night 2 predictions. You guys let me know how I did and let me know what you think. Leave a comment. This has been the Dread Man from WWG, Wrestler of Greatness. I will see you guys next time. Peace out.